We got our second Tom Coughlin sighting. Does that mean that the Coughlin curse is over? He was at day 6 of practice. I'm sorry, he was at day 6 of practice. Now he's at day 7 of practice. Brian Dable got players running gashers at the end of practice. Has the Coughlin curse been lifted? Has the discipline entered the building for the New York Giants? We're going to talk about all of that. Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Day 7 of camp. Another solid day of practice. Ended a little bit sloppy. That's all the reports and stuff that I've been reading that, was solid practice. We saw all the clips. We saw the moon balls. We saw Jackson Dart going crazy too. We saw a lot of that today. And before we get into all of that, let's get into, the injury report. So first of all, Neighbors is back. Everybody took a sigh of relief. The shoulder seems to be fine. He's out there making plays as usual. Also back and with full participation, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt. And guess what? Both of those guys out there during 11-on-11 and making plays. A nice out route by Jalen Hyatt. Great timing on the throw from Russell Wilson. Hyatt beats Poston and Dable, which we need to talk about Poston and Dable a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not just Malik Neighbors beating Poston and Dable. I done seen Slayton beat him. I done seen Jalen Hyatt now beat him. And we're gonna leave it alone for right now. Let's wait to see. We got live action. Let's wait for these for the Jets practice in a couple of weeks. I'm just saying. It was one thing when Malik Neighbors was beating Poston and Dable. Now, it didn't. Maybe Jalen Hyatt got better, which I think he did get better too. But yeah, just want to talk about some of these injuries again. Andrew Thomas, again, working on the sideline. DJ Davison was out. We saw him limp off the field in the previous practice. But Brian Dable said it was a personal issue today. That's why DJ Davison wasn't there. And then also Greg Van Roten is having a baby. Greg Van Roten is having a baby. New addition to the family. Salute to him. Congratulations. He was not at practice today. And Evan Neal took advantage of those opportunities that he had today. Wasn't the best practice for Evan Neal because he's been having a couple solid practices since he switched to guard. Today, not as good as the previous practices, but again, he's still working, he's still learning, and it is still a new position that he's learning at the end of the day. So let's get into these practice notes. And I do apologize for my voice. I am dealing with with the flu, so just so you guys know, if I sound like trash, it's because I feel like trash. Absolutely 100%. All right, but I'm still here putting out this content because I love the Giants. Absolutely love the Giants. I love you guys as well. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So practice notes. First of all, I want to talk about the returners, and I was so happy to see that Javon Holland was not one of those guys out there today in practice doing kick returns, doing punt returns either. They had Smith Marset out there, who I believe everybody believes he's going to be the number one returner on this team. They had Darnell Washington out there, Jordan Bly, Gunnar Olszewski, and Dalen Cambry all out there returning punts today. And again, as long as you don't have your starting defensive backs out there, I can roll with it. Also, because of some of the people missing that as far as the defensive line today, because I believe also out today, Elijah Chapman was not there today, and Jordan Raleigh also. Those guys dealing with some things, but I didn't see what the issues were with those guys. But guess what? It doesn't matter. You know why? Because Darius Alexander got some snaps with the first team. First team, second team snaps for Darius Alexander. He did not disappoint. There was one clip where he beat both JMS and Evan Neal. Got skinny inside on Evan Neal. Didn't disrupt the play, but it was a great rep, by him. Got skinny. They really couldn't get their hands on him. Also, Marcus Bowe taking advantage of opportunities as well. They had him playing on the left side today with the second team, and we saw a clip where he picked up a stunt. Fantastic. New York Giants offensive lineman picking up stunts. Love to hear it. Love to see it. I need some more of it. Absolutely. Outside of that, again, Neal got reps at right guard because GVR was out. Again, wife's having a baby. Congratulations. He did have a pretty good day, not as good as his past or previous practices. Did have some struggles today. Nothing to write home about. Jake Kubis also got some right guard reps today as well. Again, it's a battle right there. GVR most likely is going to be that starter on the right side, barring any kind of injury, anything like that. But the competition between Evan Neal and Jake Kubis as well is still ongoing. Absolutely still ongoing. Also today, we saw the moon ball on display. Again, everybody was worried about Malik Neighbors. He came back and got the moon ball, deep pass from Russell Wilson. I believe it was play action too as well. But the ball probably traveled about 45 yards in the air, maybe 50 yards in the air. Malik Neighbors with a nice grab. And again, on Cordell Flott hops up saying that he got pushed off. Could it have been a push off? Maybe a little bit. Tuck the flag. There was a flag though for interference, but they didn't specify whether it was OPI or defensive. And also when that flag came out, it looked like it was a little bit earlier before the push by the slight push by Malik Neighbors. But again, Russell Wilson out there with the time and looking fantastic. Another solid day from him. All over the field, multiple targets between the running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Russell Wilson is doing his thing right now. And outside of Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, solid day, had 2 pass breakups today though, on some pretty nice passes, but cornerback was able to make a good play. But Jackson Dart, let's talk about Jackson Dart. The one thing that I've noticed is, and again, I say I'm old school, I count Mississippi's, and from last week's practice when we started training camp to now, the internal clock for Jackson Dart has sped up. And he's starting to make some wild throws. He's starting to do things that, okay, yeah, this is what I thought we were getting when we picked him up, when we drafted him. So a solid day from Dart today. Had a nice catch to Montrell Washington, and again, three Mississippis right there. Put the ball in a place where only Montrell can get it. Solid throw, and again has some good velocity on it as well. Jackson Dart is getting better. He is absolutely getting better. But again, they started off with a pretty solid practice. It ended a little bit sloppy. They did have some pre-snap penalties. Brian Dable did go off, and also Brian Dable made people run after practice today. And this is something that we have not seen Brian Dable do since he's been here. Discipline. If you're going to hold people accountable, make sure you really do it. Not just with your words, but with your actions, and making people run at the end of practice. Yeah. Those are kind of actions I'm looking for if you're not getting the results that you're looking for. But outside of that, again, a solid practice to the end where it got a little bit sloppy. Russell Wilson on full display. Malik Neighbors on full display. The whole wide receiver room was on display today. Fantastic for those guys. Everybody got involved. Running game was good. There was no Scatterable again today. Not sure what's going on with that. Not sure if it's load management or something else. But outside of that, they had some players at the podium. Shout out to my man Daniel Bellinger at the podium today. He made a reference to, Giants tight ends from the past, Bavaro, Shockey, and what the tight end position means for New York City and what this tight end room brings this year. So I thought that was pretty cool that he was able to talk about, the tight end room and how these guys, yes, we're traditional, but we also can make plays. Fantastic. That's what we're looking for. And yeah, they also had Drew Phillips at the podium. They had Bo Collins at the podium as well, taking advantage of his opportunity. When it came to Drew Phillips is funny because he got the LASIK surgery this year, and he said he was pretty much blind, and he didn't like to wear contacts. And it's funny to me because the man went through college, was pretty solid in coverage, but he only had 1 interception, and maybe it's because he couldn't see. You know how Jameis Winston couldn't see? He needed the surgery and stuff like that. Andrew Phillips with the LASIK surgery, who knows? Maybe he set the team record for interceptions this year. Maybe. I would love to see that. But I'm glad he was able to get that procedure done. Said it was one of the best choices he ever made, and it helps him out a lot. So, again, that's going to be the video. Solid practice until the end. A little sloppiness with the pre-snaps on offense and defense. And, again, the team was disciplined for that. But that's going to be the video. I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.